And welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving, the storytelling version of the podcast. These are shorter episodes. These are just little snapshots about the power of storytelling. I've decided to add these to our routine once a week, and I'm going to try to figure out the best time to do them. I had some time here in the house. Nobody's home, so we're getting it done now. But thank you for joining. If you're watching afterwards, would love to hear a comment or a review. And I hope you find these helpful. I hope you like them. So it is show number 161, proud member of the Education Podcast Network, as well as Voice Ed Radio Canada. Thrilled to be part of both of those groups. So, two little commercials before we get started with today's story entitled The Crackpot. The first one is I'm doing some more coaching sessions for school leaders. Those are teacher leaders, those are assistant principals, those are principals, those are central office administrators that want to be part of a small group, a leadership group, and brainstorming best practices. Things like that. Those are starting in April, and you can find that flyer on my website, andrewmurata.com. Second, many of you have asked me, Andrew, how'd you do the book? How did it happen? And I'd like to do a workshop on book writing. If you are interested in kind of writing a book, you've had an idea, you've been thinking about it, but you don't know how to get started. Do I need a publisher? How do I get a publisher? Can I self-publish? I'll go through all of those things. It's going to be Saturday, May 1st, and I hope you will consider joining. It's a free workshop, and again, you do have to register. That's on my website, andrewmurata.com. So check that out. So here we go. This is the story of the Crackpot, right? We work in schools. We're educators. We deal with a lot of self-esteem issues with kids, with adults. We deal with confidence issues. We deal with lack of worth. So this story goes with that. It's called The Crackpot. I do want to thank my friend Dan Spanauer. This is his book called Leading Narratives. It's got a number of great stories, and this is just one in there. If you are interested in this book, you want to become a better storyteller, Murata20 is the code at theleadershippublishingteam.com. Leading Narratives, Dan Spanauer. Check it out. So here we go. The Crackpot. Here's the story. So an elderly woman lived in a remote village that was in a very dry area, and it was a long way from a water source. So every day she had to go down to the water source and get water for her family and carry it back. And she did that every day. And envision the old fashioned pole there or piece of wood with the two pots hanging on. And that's how she got the water. So she was an elderly woman. They didn't have a lot of resources. And one of the pots was cracked. It had a big crack running down the side. And she could not afford to replace that pot. And the full pot, the complete pot, started to belittle the cracked pot, saying, "You're worthless. Look, you're losing all this water. You have that big crack and water's coming out. You know, you're hurting the family. You know, you're a real disappointment. You're not very good." And the crackpot began to listen to the criticism, absorb the criticism, and started to feel really bad about itself. I'm no good. I can't carry the water. I'm letting my family down. And really started to give up and lose hope. The crackpot went to the owner, the elderly woman, and said, "I'm so sorry for failing you. I've been doing a poor job. I've been leaking water and not serving the family. Please dispose of me, get rid of me, trade me in because I'm hurting the family." And the owner gasped, "What? What are you talking about? I love you, crackpot. You provide a resource for our family." And the crackpot looked confused, saying, "How? But I've been losing water." And the owner said, "Dear crackpot, have you not looked along the road where I walk to get the water to and fro every day? What do you see along the road?" Well, growing along the road were beautiful flowers and vegetables, many, many vegetables. And the owner said, we use those flowers to benefit our family, and we use those vegetables to feed our family, and the water comes from you. And I set that up. I knew you were leaking water, and you leaked it at a perfect rate where it wasn't too much and it was just enough for those plants. And every day when I go and get that water, you feed those beautiful flowers and you feed those beautiful vegetables to feed our family. So I thank you, Crackpot, and you are valuable and you are something special to our family. And I thank you. That is the story of the cracked pot. Right? Again, if you, whatever your business, whatever if you're a teacher, you're an educator, you're a school leader, that story has a lot of value and a lot of things that happen in real life, right? Sometimes people that look like they have a complete life or something perfect, right? Belittle or take shots at maybe someone who doesn't have that complete pot. So a couple of takeaways from that story. And again, that is from Dan Spanauer's Leading Narratives. That's an old fable. You can find it a lot of places, but Dan has it in this book, leadershippublishingteam.com. Use the code Murata20, and a lot of great stories there that you can find. If you like that story, here's a couple of takeaways, right? As a school leader, I'm a high school principal, soon to be middle school principal. Thank you, Port Jervis. Excited about that. Number one, we need to recognize the strengths of those on our teams, right? That pot, people might look at it and say, well, it's a failure. It's broken, right? Let's get rid of it. That woman realized what she had and made the best of that situation where that water was leaking out and doing just enough water to water those flowers. Number two, maybe do your work a little differently, right? She planted those seeds along the side because it was leaking water. She took it as an opportunity. She didn't just say, I have this cracked pot, it's leaking water, and get frustrated. She did something differently. She adapted her work. And so many of us have done this during COVID, right? Number three, build people up. Don't break them down. This owner of the pot, and again, it's a fable, it's a story. But we can do this in real life. Don't break people down. Build them up, right? If it's a disability, if it's maybe something somebody's not doing just great, how can you improve that person? How can you have them do better, just like the cracked pot did? And in terms of the cracked pot, right? You can't listen to all the noise. We get criticism ourselves as professionals. We get criticism. It's good to listen to feedback. It's good to take feedback in, but you can't listen to all the noise. If that cracked pot only listened to the complete pot and totally gave up, you know what I mean? So when people get you down, it's good to have some criticism or feedback. You got to listen, but don't listen too much that you let people get you down. Okay. You got to keep rolling. So that's my story for today. I hope you liked it. It's the cracked pot. Again, if you kind of like that, here's another resource I use. Again, Dan Spanauer here. This is a monthly journal I subscribe to. It's at the leadershippublishingteam.com. And I get this journal brought to me. And look at all the pages here. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of great resources here. There's also, again, a 20% discount, Murata20. Use that code. And you can get this sent to you once a month. It's a great journal. It helps me. It's got stories in there, which I use quite often. So that's all I have today. Enjoy the beautiful day. Enjoy the beautiful weather. And if you like that story, leave me a comment. If you want to learn more about, again, the coaching sessions coming up, please email me and certainly register on my website, andrewmurata.com. May 1st, doing a book writing story here. Hey, Mikey Fallon, great to have you watching. Hope you liked it. We're going to tell your story here one day, Mikey. I hope you're going to write that blog for me about the shiny rocks, my brother. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Have a great Sunday and have a great week. Keep rolling. We'll get the music going here to end our show. And thanks for tuning in. If I can help you in any way, I'm at Andrew Murata 21. Keep rolling.